Bam! We are back with a exclusive episode. First off, if you weren't at SoCo, where the hell were you? We're here with Scott, who I think is an incredible man, hardworking visionary, and to top it off, a true collector at heart, who was able to put on such an incredible environment for geeks and nerds like me and Matt. Let's be real. We were in card and sticker heaven. From the moment I walked in to the moment I left. Scott made this place for us to be able to like enjoy all of these connections and cards and stickers and relationships with people, and he killed it. He hit it out of the park. And so exclusive here. Want to bring on our man Scott. Thank you. I mean, there's so much that I want to say to you, but just first off, just seriously an honest thank you, because it was an incredible experience for me. It was my first show. I sold for the first time, so it was like my first everything. I was like, my toes were curling. It was incredible, and we really, me and Matt appreciate you spending some time with us and being here. And we're gonna do the SoCo Expo review, so we really appreciate you, man. Welcome to the ThePreMoPodcast.
Thank you, appreciate it, guys. So happy to see you guys again.
Yeah, no, Scott, it was an amazing event, and I want to shout out Scott for just like it's the little touches. You know what I'm saying? Like the attention to detail, the personal relationships. Like it was just such an amazing event. It was one of my first shows too, Scott. Had a blast. You really brought the community together, which is I think is one of the most important things. It's so rare for the soccer community to come together, and you spearheaded it. You did it. You promoted it. So amazing job. We just want to talk to you about what were some of the big milestones, the successes, the growth from year one. Talk to us about, how proud you are of how it went off.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just being able to have everybody in the room, one of my favorite things about doing this, it's the people. The cards are the things that kind of bring us together, but it's really the people and the relationships really is what makes the biggest difference. And that's really what I end up enjoying the most. And it was fantastic to have people from over 40 countries. We had 30 people who had never been to the United States before who literally just showed up for the SoCo. That's why they showed up to the United States, was to come to the SoCo. So it's truly an honor to be able to do that for the community. It definitely is a lot of hard work and planning and timing. And then, it was definitely something interesting. Last year, didn't quite know how it was going to go for the sheer fact it was the first one we ever threw. We had an hour and a half to turn the room last year before vendors showed up. And then 2 hours after that, we had people show up. So that was really nuts. And then how much food do we need to be able to have for people? And is the shuttle running on time? And all the different things that we ended up providing last year. So at least having that under our belt and then being able to move to Chicago soccer fields to Melrose Park, it was really great to be able to see that, to really kind of kill what we did in year one. That was kind of the whole point of this past year. Was I kind of wanted to demolish. I mean, year one was so special, and I wish I could bottle that as far as what we end up doing there and be able to bring it forth. But I also just wanted to be able to show the community and to show everybody that we kind of just smashed the crap out of the first year and really turned it out.
That's awesome. You mentioned the international presence and how many folks came not only to the SoCo for the first time, to the country for the first time. I was blown away by how many folks made the trip and how many vendors were there, guys from Italy and England and, areas in South America. And selfishly, they had more of the stuff that I'm interested in. So I want to make sure those guys keep coming back. So what was the feedback from the international dealer community?
They loved it. I mean, honestly, I've seen some videos or some YouTube videos up, and some people are like, this is their best show that they ever went to. On sales wise, and I think just probably just with the community itself. It's just truly a unique space to be able to have all the community together. And I think that's one of the things that's kind of missing across many of the sports, and what you end up seeing at some of the other larger shows is community and things for the collector. And that's really what I wanted to focus on, making sure that the community had a great time, and B, that the collector experience, the consumer experience, who end up walking through the door, that they were going to have a great time, feel the warmth that was in the room, how friendly our community is, and really just to be able to immerse themselves in the beautiful game. And it was great to be able to have that let's say crossover this year, that we had the ability to kick a ball if we wanted to.
Yeah.
That we didn't have the first year.
You know what's crazy? I had to use Google Translate a couple of times with the French dude, and I was like, this is what it's about. Like, we're sitting there trying to do a deal. He probably thinks I'm some expert dealer. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. He's talking to me, and I'm there like trying to like pick out words, and I'm like, the champ don't know French. Like, I had to sit there, type it in. He had to grab my phone, type it in. But we literally made a deal that way. And I thought that experience for me was amazing. Like, I mean, I was like, like, are you serious? Like, this is now a whole nother level. So there was a lot of people. I mean, we had people from Spain, Puerto Rico, Italy, France. Like, I was hearing accents. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. It was such a ton of people from England, people from Ireland. It was a ton of international folks. So that was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we had 4 card shops from Asia. We had the guys who throw the Bangkok show, the Dublin show, the London show, and the Paris show all in the room.
That's amazing.
We had people from Australia, people from Dubai. I mean, it was kind of crazy, just some of the messages that I was getting in from people like, hey, we're flying in, and like, what's the address? We're coming in from Dubai. I'm like, okay. I'm like, here you go. I'm like, we had an 18-year-old kid who came in from Sweden that I needed to help connect with the hotel to get a hotel room for him. I mean, in some respects, I kind of played a little Julie McCoy from the Love Boat, because people would be like, hey, can you help me out with the hotel, or can you help me out with this? And, no problem. More the merrier. We just wanted everybody in the room. And, that was the most important part.
You wore a lot of hats, sir. You did everything soup to nuts. So, I mean, we appreciate you. It was funny because I was expecting, and again, I've like never been to a card show, so I'm coming from a completely ignorant place. I thought Saturday was going to be the big day. It seemed like Thursday was the big day, or so I heard. Were you expecting that? How did you feel about the attendance and kind of the flow of the attendance?
I end up anticipating, the first 2 days were probably going to be busier than the Saturday.
Okay.
Because there's also other ancillary stuff within the hobby, and I think partially running a bit later, we end up seeing a little of that kind of fall off towards the end as well.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think whatever day we probably started on will be the busiest day, because everyone in the community is looking to be able to go and get together and to be together. So whether that's, Thursday, whatever day we end up choosing as a first day I would anticipate as being the busiest day. And then, really attendance wise, I went by what some of my security was saying based on numbers kind of coming through the door. But I really kind of felt that the amount of people that we had in the door for the 3 days last year, we averaged greater than that on a daily basis. And that was really important to be able to see, to be able to have some of the foot traffic. And then, honestly realized and learned some things, from the show as well. It was our first time living in that facility. I know we need to improve the air conditioning. We need to improve the internet massively. And those were 2 of the main things I was telling them originally to the venue. It was like, these are the most important things. These are the most important things. And the whole time I'm going, you don't understand how many people are going to be walking through the door. And so I think by the end of day 2, they're like, whatever you say, we believe you. We see what's going on. We're with you. But it really took them a couple of days to go, okay, like now we have believers. And kind of like whatever I'm going to tell them, it's like, this is going to happen. And we've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah. So, really taking that on. And then I really learned also, like, we did the kick to win, and that kind of took like the air out of the room. Everyone focused on that, and essentially the show was over after that. And, that wasn't the intent. I know for next year, that field will be moved to the back, and there will be a pass through for those two fields, just like on the fields 1 and 2. You guys were on field 3. Yep. 1 and 3 were together, and 2 and 4 were together, but there wasn't a pass through. And I think by creating the pass through is definitely going to assist for foot traffic, and it's going to make a better show for everybody. And, those are just some of the things that we end up learning as we lived in this facility.
Sure. I mean, I will say the food was pretty good. I know, Champ, I think you had like tacos or a quesadilla.
Yeah. Is there any way that our table could be right next to the taco stand?
It was easy to get beers too. Like it was, and I thought the air conditioning really improved. I heard day 1 was a little bit toasty, but then it kind of improved on day 2 and 3. So I don't know. And I feel like the internet never works, does it, at these things? Like that's a tricky one.
Yeah, I mean, I brought in another network. I went and bought a mesh system to be able to try to improve it. Yeah. We tried doing all the little things to be able to make a better experience for everybody. Reality is it didn't help. Yeah. So we're going to do better for next year, and really press on from there. But yeah, I mean, most people who go to shows, you need to realize, comp your stuff ahead of time. If you're looking for certain cards, make sure you know what all those comps are ahead of time. So, then everyone's kind of on a level playing field, and you know what's happening there. And, do your homework.
Totally. One other piece of feedback that's making the rounds on the Soccer Card podcasts and the shows is, man, I wish it was a little bit closer to the national so I could hit SoCo and then go to the national parties, or hit national in the morning and then walk to SoCo. But what I think people don't understand is some of the logistics that make that challenging. So giving you the floor, Scott, to talk about kind of, that kind of situation and maybe why it's difficult to happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, for 2 years now, I've tried reaching out to the national via phone and email and, multiple ways trying to get them. In order to have anything close, in order to take any ballroom space, you have to go through the national. They own all that space and they approve everything. So, it, without getting a response, makes it really difficult to try to plan something. Plus, the cost in order for us to be able to do something with them. And even I've just hit up other places outside of the national time, just trying to figure out costs. Yeah. And, that's going to be 5, 6, 7 times the amount for the room. I mean, I'm seeing that here in Detroit right now as I'm kind of planning Detroit. Yeah. So as I'm looking through and seeing things, the costs just explode as you get closer and closer and closer to the national. And then I also looked at room blocks too. So, people want to get closer to the national, great. So trying to find a place in between. Well, at the current hotel that we have the ability to stay in, I could rent the entire hotel, 135 rooms, and room rates right around like $130, $140 a night. Yep. For me to move closer to the national and someplace in between our venue and the national, I could only get 60 rooms, and the rooms are $600 a night. So, you want to pay 4.5 times the amount for a hotel room that puts you a little bit closer. Sure. I mean, you're more than welcome to. Yeah. I don't think it really serves the community all that well. I don't think it serves the collector all that well, but I mean, people can end up going there with, no problem. I think those are some of the things. Yeah. Would we like to be part of it? Would we like to be right there with everything? I think, yeah, that makes sense for everybody. Yeah. When it comes to dollars and cents, I don't think that I can go, hey, you guys want to be close to the national? Fantastic. Okay, the tables aren't going to be $400. The tables are going to be $1,200. Oh, and if you guys want to move anything in, yeah, you can't touch your stuff. It's going to be another $200-$300 to move your stuff in. Oh, you want to have a hotel room? Great. your hotel room's 600 a night, not 140 or 130 bucks. Like, that's fine. But I think now it starts to, really taps into people's pocketbooks, really doesn't make, the trip to be able to come to the SoCo and National is palatable for many people.
Yeah.
And then think about how many cards you can't purchase, because if you're around for 4 days, you got $2,400 tied up into a hotel room.
See, this is the stuff we don't know. This is a peek behind the curtain. This is how the magic happens and the considerations that need to be thought of. So now we appreciate that, Scott.
I looked at larger venues and stadiums too. Yeah. And the reality is that they don't make any sense either. So, I tried going back and around and again and trying to find a bigger space or trying to find a closer space. And the reality is there's not much there.
No, I actually think where it's at is perfect. I personally want to move further away from the National. I mean, I've heard horror stories. I've never been, and honestly, I have no intent on going. So I mean, for me, I think doing a PSA drop off, if SoCo could get that, or COMC drop off, I think that alone, I mean, that's something that I've heard from like multiple people. Mm-hmm. And regardless, as long as those tacos are still within the venue, I'm good.
Yeah, no, you're good there. And I have reached out to PSA through Matthew, and and I'm heading to Burbank next week. Really more so for meetings, for breaking bread with people, and really getting, a wide array of opinions. I have a number of questions to be able to ask people, to be able to sit down. And then as well as for some of the larger corporations or people that we can end up bringing in as sponsors, such as like a COMC or a PSA, to really help round out our show and to be able to provide other people the services they're looking for, and to really, truly just make the experience even better for everybody. So, we stomped out the first year, we did better this year. And I only just want to continue to improve the experience for everybody who walks through the doors.
That makes sense. And Champ, I went to the National for the first time. As you know, there's nothing for you there. There's nothing for Champ at the big show.
Tacos, there's no R9. There's no nothing. There's no
R9. It's
no R9.
No. Well, we got into some of the ideas that you're kind of pondering, Scott, but anything else you want to share about kind of the evolution of the show moving forward, things you're thinking about, things that you might want to, prioritize or de-emphasize?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, I know that the hours, once it hit 10 o'clock and going to midnight's, rough. And the reality is, and what I always used to do, I used to do 30 trade shows a year. So like I was on the road, everyone who ended up working for me, when we were done, I took everyone to dinner. Like not being able to go to dinner and take care of the guys who take care of the show, like that doesn't really sit well with me.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the biggest things for me going through. Because going back to the hotel at 1 a.m, it's not like, oh yeah, let's order some food, or like, let's go to dinner. Like that just doesn't really calculate at that point in time. So I think changing the hours, making it more conducive, for people, I think that's one thing. I know that there's other ancillary stuff that ends up popping up as we get into like Friday and Saturday. So does it make sense to do a trade night and then to change the show to a 2-day show? So then people can go do the ancillary stuff and then be able to go to, the National and be able to spend a day or whatever they want to be able to do there. I think those are some of the things that are on the table, and that's some of the stuff that I already got feedback from a number of people who filled out the survey. If you haven't filled out the survey, the link's live on Instagram. So just go and fill out the survey. I read through every single line, every single word that's in there. I take it to heart. I just want to make sure that we can do better next year. That's a big part of it. I think that the space that we have the ability to put 288 tables into this facility. I would love to say that the soccer community could fill it, but I'm also realistic. And as much as I'd like to say that the whole soccer community could fill it, I don't see that just yet. I'm hopeful, but I don't see that at this point in time. So I know there's a number of other communities that are out there that are actually looking for a home, and I might extend an olive branch to them because they're looking for a home, a place that they have the ability to set up, and then also it's going to end up increasing foot traffic, bringing more people in the door who might not be showing up just for us. And I understand more people, people want a bit more foot traffic and everything through. And I think by bringing in maybe a couple other genres who have a nice community, who are looking for a home.
Yeah.
There were many people who didn't even know we had 2 fields in the back and like a food court area to be able to sit down and like go eat and go grab a drink at the bar.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I remember talking to Cyrus from Soccer Breakers after the show. He's like, wait, there's 2 more fields in another room? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, the show's over, but like there's stuff back there. And part of it too, and I think that I need to do a better job of letting people know there's a room back there. We held it really for the tournament and kind of put that back there. But I know like on that back wall, I need to have like a 20 by like 40 banner or 20 by 50 banner. So when you walk in the front door, you know that there's more going on than just what you end up seeing right in front of you.
Totally. And we'll close with, for anyone that didn't attend this year, but is thinking about next year, what would you say to close the deal and get them there, Scott?
Honestly, we are the Mecca of the beautiful game. We are the SoCo community. So we're turning into SoCo Nation. The really interesting thing that I really think that's going to spawn from this year and leading forward is we had so many more people who came in from out of the country, and they're going to be able to go back to their own communities and spread the gospel of what they ended up seeing.
Yes.
And we only have raving fans, which is fantastic. We have such a great community. And I think by them going back to tell people about the experience that they had and have one room, one building for the community as the global Mecca, you want to go and meet somebody, go to that room. You want to be able to have a chance to be able to sit down with somebody, go to that room. Like that's what the SoCo is all about, is being able to bring people together. We have the common bond of the love of cards and the beautiful game. But honestly, it's truly about the people and the relationships, because we can sell cards all day, every day, go on eBay, go on whatnot, go on whatever. But how often do you actually have the chance to be able to sit face to face? I was fortunate enough to be able to hang out with you guys for 20, 30 minutes. I know Champ and I ended up making a deal. I honestly had no idea what the value was. Noah was with us. You were there. Al was there. And I'm like, what are we doing here? So, because, you guys are getting me into pre-mod, which is fantastic. But like, you're going to create someone else who's a competitor, which, you might not want.
We're going to regret
And
so,
you are cutthroat, my man. You are cutthroat as a collector, man.
Well, no. And then Champ, I end up taking you to a table and we both bought a card at the other table. So, it's just really kind of finding some of the stuff that we like, some of the stuff that we're really searching out. And it's really just great to be able to have everybody in the room. That's truly the most important part of all of it, is the community. And the cards are the things that bind us, that bring us together. And it's truly the love of the beautiful game.
Yes.
It was an amazing experience.
Me and Matt met for the first time.
Yeah.
At SoCo. Me and Seb met it for the first time at SoCo.
Me and you guys.
We
bringing people
met,
together.
And that's something that's forever. You know what I mean? And I think going forward, that's what it is. It's like the cards are great and cool, but I think it's more about just, this is like a courtyard of love. It was a love fest. It was like every table I would walk by, there was somebody that knew somebody. Everyone I was walking by, at the taco stand, I keep bringing up the taco stand. People were coming up to me. Like it was just that whole personal touch, which takes it to a whole nother level. And honestly, I mean, I'm grateful, like beyond words, just because it was everything I thought, but times 50 million. Like I knew I was going to have fun. I knew I was going to meet everybody, but to actually see the space, how everything was laid out, I feel that we have such like now it's just it's like perfect going forward because this is going to grow. I think kind of like what you said, it's going to spread, and we have the perfect space for the next couple of years. I think where, like what you said, if you could fit another 40, 50 tables, that's going to be, I think, incredible, because I do have a feeling that a lot more people are going to show up. I think the Hispanic community, I think, is slowly getting into it. That's a whole nother branch. And World Cup, I mean, you can't beat that. Like, that's
right.
coming up in our land. And I mean, I am excited. My man, you are such a visionary. You are an incredible, like, you are such someone that I'm like having trouble like doing like things at home, and I'm trying to bring you on board to like help me out at home and like at my job, because you really pulled all the strings. I saw you constantly, like I was watching you from afar, and you were like making sure everybody was okay, everything was going smooth. I'm there like I should have asked you, yo man, are you okay? Because you were worried about everyone else having a good time, everything else being in order. And that was incredible to see it live. That you did. I mean, if we're gonna give like a rating, that was like a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
You honestly did such an incredible job, and I'm just grateful that like I was there. I mean, I really had a lot of fun, man. It really was a memory for me, and it's something that I told Matt, like, I miss SoCo. Like, it's been a couple of weeks. I'm
Mhm.
still thinking about it. Like, man, like I wish there was one every weekend. Like,
No, I mean that was kind of no. Thank you guys so much. I mean, honestly, I actually enjoyed this year so much more than I did the first year. The first year was a lot more stressful, a lot more unknown, and I honestly didn't even have a chance to look at a card until the end of day two. Um, and then in Champ, honestly, I got the 3 cards from you, and I bought the other card. Those were the only purchases I made, and I did all that in 20 minutes, and that
Wow.
was it. That was the only time that I actually shopped was at that time. So, I mean, I knew there were a bunch of great cards in the room. I wish that I probably had a little bit more time to be able to do. But it was so much fun. And really to be able to, the biggest thing, and I know we touched on it probably even before we end up talking, was it was it was all about the experience and creating a lifelong memory, and knowing to be able to put something on like that no one's going to forget the memories that they had of going through to do that, and it's going to last with them a lifetime. And that's really what I enjoy doing the most, is to be able to create these experiences for people, for collectors, for our community, um, that you really can't find anywhere else.
no, that's exactly what was done. I mean, I have so many pictures. I don't even take pictures with like my family and friends, and my like my camera roll is just nothing but collectors, nothing but cards. And Scott, I cannot wait for next year. I mean, the champ is going to be there. I'm going to be, if I'm not at the table, I'm obviously going to be at the taco stand. I may get on the field and do a challenge or something too. You know what I mean? The champ may like come out of retirement. Hopefully, I don't do a R9 and blow out both my knees. But man, Scott, thank you. I mean, Matt, do you have any last words? I'm just so grateful, man.
No, thank you, Scott, for like spearheading the whole thing, giving us such an amazing experience, and then thanks for coming on and chatting with us about it. So we really appreciate you.
No, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Anytime, you guys can hit me up whenever. I'm more than happy to help.
All
Thanks,
right, all
Scott.
right. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Same. Thank you guys.
Bam. We are back. That was an amazing, amazing chance to sit down with Scott. I think for soccer, man, he hit it out of the park. I mean, I never thought you could have 160 plus tables of just soccer, and we saw it. We saw it in person. We saw it live. Man, he killed it, man. He killed it. I just think that we're blessed to be like a part of that experience. I wish I was there at the first one, right? Just to see that growth, because it felt like this was the third or fourth show that he had done. I mean, he really killed it. I think going forward, he's just a dude that's gonna keep trying to improve. He doesn't look like he's content. I think even though the show was like such a good show, everyone is saying how good it was, and of course there's little things here and there that he definitely hears us, right? He definitely hears everything. He's gonna fix, man. And so going forward, man, I'm just excited, man. And this is our little quote unquote review of SoCo. Man, give me what it was for you getting there, what it was for you walking in. How was all that for you?
It was, because I don't really go to shows. This is one of the, I mean, I've been to a few local shows around me. Like I'll take my kid, you know, we'll get some football cards or something. But I think this one, it was different because we were meeting all of these people that we've talked, you know, friends online and the Discord and Instagram and podcast co-hosts, and you're meeting them in person for the first time. So the excitement, but also like not the anxiety, but there was a lot to take in all at once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it was just so awesome. Like I continue to think, and it's kudos to Scott because he put on a great event and like all the logistics, like he thought of it, but the vibe in the community, and maybe it's just like the little part of the community that we operate within, but it's just like so positive. And it's like, you know, we're talking to our friends like, you know, Mad City and Dan at Dreamcast, and we got Sev T and Pelkey stopping by. And after like the initial like, you're Pelkey? Oh, hey Pelkey. It was like we were old friends. Didn't it feel like that?
No, it for me, I'm telling you, it was like you're there, and once someone would say their like name, it's like, yo, like it was just a love fest, kind of like what you said. It was a freaking like love fest. I felt great energy. I felt, you know, I was really blessed to like be able to meet people that I admire in this space.
Me too.
To like see them in action. I saw certain cards that you know, it's beautiful to see because, you know, it's always about everyone clicking and meeting, but at the end of the day, we're nerds. And I saw some nice cards. I saw some nice what's called like one-on-ones. Matt had some sick Neymars, man, that I was just like, oh my God. I remember Matt coming through with just a little box with just some beauties. And we saw some patches. I mean, we saw jerseys. But I mean, for me, it was just the whole experience of meeting people. That I don't need to sell, and we'll like talk about how Champ is now the flipper, big flip. But I mean, honestly, I would go to SoCo without a card on me, just money to buy, because it made the experience fun. Me selling, that was like a whole nother world for me. But I would have gone without a table. You know what I mean? Like I would have gone regardless.
I would go if it was like just a museum. Like if everybody just brought some cards to show off and you could walk around and look at everybody's cards and there was no transacting, like I would go. And then I have to say, you know, I've been watching Bill and Al since COVID. To meet them in person, I honestly felt like I was meeting like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino or something.
Yes,
like I was meeting like presidents.
No, and seeing them, like, bro, for me, you can't like I like I would have paid to see them set up a card show and wheel and deal. Like I would have paid to see that. Like, and so for me to be, and you know, so like close to them and watch Al in action.
Yes.
See him out. He was explaining everyone that was coming up to Al's table. He was so receptive, and he would sit there and break everything down, explain everything, talking about pop reports and sales. Like he's a master at work. Like he loves collecting, but he comes prepared. He was prepared on everything.
Totally.
Seeing Bill, being around Bill setting up, seeing Scott, like we were around legends and people that you're right that I've admired, bro. Like we've admired for so long.
And Seb exists.
Seb
exists in the world.
Real. Yeah, for all those that thought Seb was just a chat, you know what I'm saying, like a chat GPT agent, our boy Seb is real. and he's as real as it gets.
He is.
Let me just say, he was a pleasure to be around. I said it in my vlog. I can't do SoCo without Seb. Like, I need him around me. I need to be in his presence. He helped me out a lot too. Seeing him bringing his amazing pieces, and just seeing, bro, like, this is gonna grow. And I know that everyone's been saying this, but I look at our thing like crypto in a weird way. Like, it's gonna grow. It takes time, but I think with these events, it's like there's more people I think that are gonna come next year. And with Scott saying that all those guys, because I the tables weren't that expensive. The flights, I'm trying to think from over there, that was probably their biggest expense, right? Eating, I'm sure, unless you're doing what's called like IHOP and what's called like Panda Express, if you're going out to eat at Gibson's every night, then yeah, you're like gonna go broke. But I think I really hope that it was worth it and that they want to come back, because we need those guys. We need people from across the globe. And I think more dealers is gonna come, man. I think, all it needs, I think, is more foot traffic.
Yeah.
A little more. And I think as that builds out with what's called a World Cup coming up, that's just gonna build, I think. It's gonna be like a tidal wave, I think, of just
what's funny is, like, I think more foot traffic, definitely. I will say, so I went to the National on Saturday morning, and like, you're just shoulder to shoulder with like sweaty dudes, and then you go to SoCo and there's space, and you're kind of, you got a little, there's room to kind of move around and check some stuff out and actually have conversations. Like, the National is a disaster. The National, I mean, for a soccer fan, like, there is nothing there. The Breaker Pavilion is just like hell on earth. You're just like, get me out of here. I was like, I got to go back to SoCo. But in terms of the product, not surprisingly, a lot of modern, a lot of ultra modern. There was some pretty cool. I mean, I think, like, you had the best Primo stuff at the show, but there was some cool international Primo.
Yeah.
Some super cool vintage. I mean, Al's stuff, it basically just,
Al, Scott, and Bill had,
that was wild.
Like if you're into that stuff and you walk across those 3 tables, that's a gold mine. Like,
it's a gold mine.
That's like a oil shooting up, like, out the ground, because that there's not 3 better collectors of those eras that are gonna be at one spot at the same time, willing and dealing. Like, and then for us, I mean, with our stuff, like you saw, I was willing and dealing Pele's from 1962 and 63, and at the same time dealing Dinos and like R9s. Like, so I mean, I feel if we get a couple of more Primo, let's say 5-6 tables of Primo solid, I think, I'm probably gonna be wrong for this, but I think that he should just allow like Bill, Alan, Scott to like do like pre-war and vintage.
That's just they don't need anybody.
They have such a vast collection that's all you need, right?
It's crazy.
And I think as our thing builds out, as more folks come in and learn the ropes, learn what to gather, our thing will be good, right? I think the shiny stuff, it moves. It moves. We saw
that's what people want. That's the market.
With stacks off the dollar bins, right? So, I mean, man, everything, I loved it, man. I loved it. I don't think it needs to be next to that big show. But then again, I'm not trying to go to the National. I know there's a lot of people like we had spoke about this, and we actually like had said this at the show. If PSA or COMC or whatever comes to SoCo,
that's the only reason I went to the National, because I had a PSA
that would be
to drop off,
bro. That right, like that would be, I think, super major. And when we said this at the show, we was like, if PSA was here, you imagine that's foot traffic within itself. Like, people coming to just drop off, like COMC. Imagine you'd be able to have like a box of 200 cards have them ready to just like what's called like hand off. You can't beat that.
You can't beat
So
that.
I mean, if he works on that, and I know him, he's on it. Like like I could already tell he's gonna
Yeah,
be
he
like
mentioned it. Like he's talking to people.
yeah, nah, man. So I mean, I loved it. I mean, selling it was like
I have to say, I had a ringside seat, so I was right to your right, and I saw a metamorphosis. I saw a
you
transformation.
saw
I
a
saw
change in the
the
change.
prima donna turn into Big Flipper. And you like, I don't think it comes as any surprise that okay, first, Champ has never sold anything, but I don't think anybody's surprised that you just morphed into an amazing salesman, just like right out of the
Dude,
gate.
I was nervous, dude. I seriously I didn't know what I was gonna do. You saw I had nothing comped, and it was like I just told myself just figure it out. Like
Yeah.
once someone comes up, figure it out. Like don't stress. Just work with it. I was able to read real fast collectors and sharks. So I was able to kind of read real fast, kind of like who was who. So I knew like who I was gonna be firm on and
Yeah.
who I was gonna like. I already could tell what this was about to go and flip this at like the third was called like table over. So I would stay firm and kind of shoot a higher price.
Yeah.
But if it was a collector, and obviously I like got this from Al. Al has always said that when he's at a show and he feels that you need a piece for your stash, he's willing to work a deal. And that's how I felt.
You
Like
can feel that too. You can feel like the difference between like
yeah,
a flipper
oh
or like
yeah,
a repacker and
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
who's
yeah.
like, I love this dude.
Yeah, dude, and I'm not gonna lie. Once the pocket started getting heavier, I got more confidence. I was like, what's it called? Like a boxer in the eighth, ninth round. Kind of, I was feeling myself. I knew then that there was probably a point where someone would kind of like what's called like walk up, and I would just want to sell anything, like just because I was feeling myself. I was like, yo, I could do this, I could do this, and it kept building, and you saw, man, I was on it. Like it was funny at first, but then it became serious. Like,
It was like a real
yo,
thing.
yeah, like yo, I'm really selling,
You
and
had this
so
great line that I loved because you had nothing priced. And
yeah,
everybody is like, the one thing they tell you to do is like price your shit. Like that's like rule number one. And you had nothing priced. And somebody would come up and be like, how much for the Pele? You're like, let's figure it out together, brother. Let's do this. Like it was like we're
do
on the
this.
same team.
Let's
Like
sit
let's
down and
figure
lock
out the
in.
deal.
Nah, and it worked. That I
It
think
did.
worked, and it made people comfortable that they were probably going to get a good deal. Because
Totally.
usually with stickers, someone's always going to be at 125% of the last comp, 150%. And I like once I got back, Matt, I realized like, damn, I gave some good ass deals. Like I came through and I was like, I saw some comps and I was like, oh shit, like that dude got a steal. And then I would look at the pop reports on certain things that I sold, but I felt good about it. Like I feel I probably moved, I say roughly around 25 slabs. And I know that probably doesn't sound like a lot
They
to
were good
to
slabs though.
folks, but it was good stuff. Yeah, it was good stuff. And I really want to like I'm still up in the air, but I want to get a big piece. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I want to get a good solid like piece. So going forward, it's like I traded 25 cards for this piece. And like I didn't pull any money out. I just went in with that money I made and got this. I think
That's a great way to look at it.
right to so that way I know now like okay, now it's like I got to get to the point where I don't put money in the hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Totally.
build it from sales and till I reach a certain point, then I'm able to grab just better things. And honestly, right now, and we've actually spoke about this, we're feeling ourselves as collectors. I think
Yeah.
we're at a point now where we're almost 5 years in, right? I'm about 4.5 about, but I'm feeling myself right now. As far as a collector, a geek, a nerd, I love my stash. I now with that blood that I tasted in the
You gotta
water.
taste. You're like a shark. You're like a shark that
Yes,
smells blood in the
now
water.
I know. No, I'm actually a dolphin now. I am a flipper.
Big So what
I'm-
you said about funding the hobby with sales, I think I've always tried to do a little bit of that, right?
I
Like kind
think
of sell it.
everyone has. I think
Everybody does that, except
me.
I feel like except you and Al and Scott and Seb, because I brought like 40 slabs. I didn't want to sell. I wanted to sell like 5, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm surrounded by dudes that have inventory. Like
Yeah.
you guys brought like, like 100 slabs, and there was like, it's like your doubles and your triples, and it's like it's really good stuff. And I thought I would be able to move some like low end, because like at the national, everyone's going through like the $5 boxes, the $10 boxes. Nobody looked at my low end. They were just like looking at Champ's, huge pieces in his case, So I don't know. That was interesting. I didn't expect that.
Nah, man, I'm ready for like the next show. I wish I could go to like another show, but I'm ready. Like now I know I'm gonna take about probably 25, 50 slabs. I already know the pricing. I already know, like, just being able to, read people. Like for me in business, it's like you obviously like learn that, like, I sell food.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm good at selling. Like when someone, oh, so what does like this have? Oh, that has that, and I can break it down. So I use that for like this, and it worked out. Like so that, being a salesman, you could sell whatever.
Totally.
I honestly feel that way. But yeah, man, now I don't want to put money in. I feel like I gotta sell now as like a thing. I have to sell if I want to get something. So
Yeah.
that way it's like I cut off the funds. I could keep loading up on what's called like ETFs and crypto and like Nvidia stock, right? Like, and that way I could just focus on now building out the ultimate stash, dropping from like 1,300 or 1,200 slabs to maybe about 500 slabs, and I'd be good with that. And then moving everything else, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously I got to get organized too at home, but man, I loved it. I loved everything about it. Even the stuff that sucked, the heat, the what's called like elevator that didn't work, the like all those little things that they made it though part of the experience. Like it made me learn how these shows are. I've heard from everybody, they're all hot and internet sucks. And I experienced
That
that.
was true.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
true.
all true.
I've heard that from every show ever made. But just the whole traveling with the slabs, getting ready the day or two before, I needed to experience that, man. And
Dude, they in security, they pulled my case out of the security line and they checked
uh-oh.
it. And like the guy opened up the case. He was like, "What the hell is this?" I was like,
He saw the R9 Auto from 2002.
"Those are sports cars."
Like, is this some type of bomb? No, man, my shit was like what's called like duct taped in the fucking carry-on, and I
Yeah.
was telling myself like, do not ask me to open this because I'm gonna have to explain, and people are gonna look at me like you big goof. So I mean, I'm blessed that I obviously like they just like let me like walk through, right? But yeah, Seb also got checked.
Oh
Seb,
my
but
God.
Seb is because his shit's so old and dusty that they probably thought it was like some what's called like anthrax or some shit like going through the custom.
I didn't tell. I was gonna bring this up with Scott, but did you see like around the hotel there was like motorcycle dudes? There was
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
motorcycles.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a
So like
fest.
there was like guys like fixing motorcycles, riding motorcycles around, and like I remember one time I was boarding the shuttle with other guys going to SoCo, and we're all like carrying our little nerd boxes, and these motorcycle dudes are looking at us like, "What the fuck are you guys?"
Nerds.
I felt like such a dork.
Hey, it is what it is. If there's ever a place to feel like a dork, it's at SoCo.
You know what? You're accepted, and we're with
Yeah,
our brothers. We're with our
our
brothers.
clique,
So
man. Yeah, nah, man. It was perfect. Like I said, if we're gonna sit there and what's called like nitpick every little bad thing, but I'm cool because like I was already expecting those things that
yeah,
was bad. Traffic, I heard about traffic. We experienced traffic. It's supposed to be, I think, a 10-minute ride. It was like 35 minutes every time. Um, but yeah, nah, man, I love it. I love where he's going with it. I'm riding with Scott. I think going forward, I have to be at SoCo every year. Like
Yeah.
I felt the vibe. I felt, and I think that vibe is only going to get better if he drops it to 2 days. That's amazing. I think for everybody involved. The times he was saying 12 to 8 or 1 to 9, I think that would be incredible. So we
Gotta
could
bump it up.
night.
I was dead the first day.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, dude, me. So on Friday night, I got stuck with two Jedis with James and Dan
Mad City and
and
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast cards, and they're talking about sets and pulling out bangers, and they don't know that my back is gone. My like right knee is not feeling good at all. I'm like freaking what's called like R9 at SoCo. And these dudes like were just on it. And that passion, bro, like I actually said, I was like, dude, you missed out on a convo because it was like
I know. I felt bad. I felt like I missed it.
Oof.
The only way we're gonna get more primo in that room is if more primo collectors set up and bring their stuff. And honestly, some of the best primo was our friends walking around with their cases.
Yeah.
So Noah, Dan, James, Mad City,
Adam,
Sev T had some cool stuff.
Hendler,
Jasa cards, Pelkey, like going through Pelkey's thing was
yeah.
the coolest. That was like one of the coolest primo cases outside of yours at the show. So I was just like, we need more people to go. It's so fun. It's actually like meeting friends that you haven't seen in a while, and it was forever. So I don't know. I would just say like it's worth it, guys. Make the trip.
With more of us going,
yeah.
Even if we just get let's just be real. If the same people go, and we could get another 8 to 10
totally
of us going, that's incredible.
Exactly.
Like, and this is just as goers, like not selling, just going. I think the amount of conversation, the amount of dinners, like we have to do a primo dinner.
I was gonna say we got to do a primo happy hour or dinner.
Yeah, primo happy hour lunch or a dinner or something like I don't know what, a trade night, a primo trade night.
Yeah,
that'd be actually pretty cool.
That's a really good idea,
right? So we could kind of group everyone that does feel nerdy and geeky as us and to just really have fun. But man, I loved it, man. I loved it, man.
So
and we met, we had our picture taken by Bill, which I thought was special.
It was special.
We got to take pics with people that we admire and just have kind of like looked at as the people that have carried this flag of our thing. And it feels good to know that now we're at that table carrying that flag. You know what I mean? And going forward, I'm ready. The champ is ready to sell. I'm ready to flip now. All those comments I made about all you sellers and flippers and breakers, I apologize because I am now one of you. I have turned to the dark side. I am now Evil Knievel. And Scott actually called me La Reina. So there's El Rey, and I am La Reina. So
what does that mean?
Mexican assassin name. Well, La Reina means the queen. If Al's the king, I am the queen. To me, it comes off like a Mexican assassin of like the freaking like cartel. They call him La Reina. So I actually prefer Big Flip or Flipper. I just got to work on my like dolphin sounds and my, but
your whole persona has changed. You're, Big Flip. Man. You're out here to make money.
Big deals. If anyone needs anything to buy, come see me. You know what I mean? I got y'all, man. I'll sell anything, anywhere, in the hotel lobby, in the elevator, in the parking lot, on like the shuttle bus. I'm ready to sell at any given moment. So hell yeah, man. That's and fun. Shout out to the taco stand, man. That was beautiful. Seriously, that was
good. You could get buckets of Modelo and Pacifico. Like it was easy.
Tacos in one spot, bro. That I was like, yo, for real?
They made it easy. Scott thought everything.
So yeah, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this. We definitely had fun with it, but it had a good touch with Scott. Scott killed it. Just very, very cool that he sat down with us. Not only tonight, but at the card show. He stopped by a couple of times and like chopped it up with us to the point where I was like, why is he hanging out with us? Like
he's got stuff to do.
Yeah, he was there for 20-30 minutes, just like making sure that we were good. We were talking about cards. like he said, I went with him to a table. He just walked up, saw something he liked, and bought it like nothing, like just hardcore. He bought stuff for me, and that freaking like makes me feel good too. So it was a good time, man, and honored to have met you, man.
Same, man.
Met, so it's
it was
love.
a pleasure.
Love. So
Absolutely.
Primo podcast, man. Over and out. We're slowly getting there, man.
Watch the Zizou episode.
Yeah. Watch the Zizou episode, man. Shout out to Noah. And as always, shout out to Leo. Peace, man.
Peace, guys.